Hello, welcome to the Dream Stream podcast. It is your dream work podcast with two dream workers, Yiska Cook.
And Ellen Ronas.
So, hi, Ellen. It's great to see you.
Hello, as usual. Good to see you too.
So,
Looking
I
forward
was saying, sorry,
just
Hannah.
looking forward to digging in a little bit to a couple of dreams.
I was just wondering because often if it's a new year or my birthday, I want to look at the first dream, the first big dream that comes to me, and maybe that'll be indicative of what is to come. And I always do the first 3 nights because maybe I won't. It just takes pressure off. And even if there's not one in 3 nights, then maybe the next one. We don't have to be tough on ourselves. But I was wondering, seeing as you just had your birthday, if you have a dream.
I do. I had one dream that was like 3 days after my birthday, and then another one maybe 5 or 6, just a
Yeah,
couple of weeks ago. So I don't know
awesome.
whether or not they're connected or anything, but
Do you want
um,
to share them?
yes, I will.
Great.
So I'm going to read it because it's not fresh in my memory. So I hope that's never as good as if I can just recite it. But here we go.
Okay.
I'm on a vacation with family and friends. I don't exactly know who. I kept feeling like I was missing out on fun activities because I was trying to find my phone back in the room. At one point, I passed by as if I were gliding, almost like I'm on a moving staircase kind of a thing, and I'm sort of gliding by, like I was watching a movie in front of me as I glided by and saw my family and friends. It seemed like maybe they were my siblings and maybe like a colleague friend of mine is who popped into my mind as who it might be there. Um, they were enjoying some kind of a game or a magic performer who who came into the audience and interacted with them. I felt really frustrated, like I was missing out on the simple fun and not liking my choice to spend time looking for my phone.
Yes.
It seems pretty obvious to me in a lot of
Well,
ways about my
as
life.
as Jeremy Taylor always says, a dream never comes to tell you what you already know. And
Yeah,
secondly,
okay.
there are always more than one interpretation, as we know
Mm,
from doing dream work and your
yes. Well,
dream work.
I will be, yeah, I'll be happy to see what else, I can say what I think it's about. Um,
Sure. But
yeah.
can you wait?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go through the process. So how did you feel when you woke up from this dream?
Yeah, I felt frustrated. I felt really
Okay.
angry with myself, like
And that's what,
angry,
yeah.
like, oh God, like this again, or this kind of feeling again of
Mhm.
missing out or not making the right choice, or I don't really belong there or belong anywhere. And I'm choosing to, yeah, it's frustrating and
Yeah. So
angry.
that's interesting because we talk about often how you're feeling in the dream. One is feeling in their dream, and then how one is feeling on waking from the dream. Now, this is rare, I think, in our exploration that I'm feeling frustrated in the dream, and then I'm also still feeling frustrated when I wake up. So
Hmm.
that's interesting. I just think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not
I think that
every.
actually happens to me a lot. Like
Okay.
how I feel in the dream is how I end up feeling when I wake up, but not always.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
always.
Uh-huh.
I actually find it more interesting when it's the feeling that I have when I wake versus the feeling I have in the dream is very different.
Yeah,
That's
that
striking to me.
this is an interesting exploration.
Yeah.
So what I want to know, I know this is a little out of order. I want to know, when in my life have I felt that way? I know that personally there are times in my life that I have felt left out or that I made the wrong choice. Oh, many times. I mean, your dream is talking straight to me. I didn't go to whatever I didn't do, but I want to focus on you right now.
Yeah. Well, right. I mean, that's the thing about dreams too, is they're usually universal and we can always learn from one another's dreams because
That's
we're
right.
all human and we all have some basic similar experiences. So I will say that the missing out part and then not being happy with my choice
Right.
is so directly related to me not going to my niece's bridal shower in California, and which was the day before this dream. So I'm sure it's connected, and my brain was sort of processing it. My siblings were there and friends of the family were there. I didn't even think of this, actually, to be honest. It didn't, when I first wrote the dream down, I didn't even make this connection. I don't know how. It's so obvious. And
Nothing befalls an individual that hasn't happened in a dream.
it's so true. And I was I was really mad at myself in waking life because my siblings were all there and it like sounded like they were gonna be having so much fun, and I haven't been having much fun in my real waking life. And so I was like, why didn't I just spend the $1,000 to just get myself there and get a hotel for a couple of nights and just why did I not do that, And I was like kicking myself. I was so angry at myself in waking life. So I'm sure that this is processing that. I don't
Yes,
really know what the gliding was about. Maybe it was just like as if I was watching it from a distance. Like I'm over here. I don't
yes,
know what, yeah, what that was
yes.
exactly. But that's sort of my
It almost seemed like when we're gliding, well, this is my projection. If I'm gliding, I'm going over water. And so even that like far away reference to water is bringing up my emotions. So this is an emotional dream for me
mm,
if I'm the
mm,
dreamer. But
mm,
interestingly, my regrets also fall upon why didn't I go to that, bridal shower? Why didn't I go to that bachelorette party? What, I had something better to do. It's like, why did I let like limitations on
yeah,
or movement
yes,
keep me from
yes,
going and seeing my friends and family?
yeah.
So that's also where my regret stems from. So I
Hmm.
definitely get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess if I wanted, the only thing that in the dream I'm curious about that I might want to know more about is the magic, the magic trick, like performer, magician or whatever.
Hmm.
Sorry, hair in my mouth. Yeah, it was very definitely something that isn't normally a thing I would partake in,
Yes,
magic or whatever, like a magic show. And but there was something about that was so it's unusual in my waking life that I would ever do that, and yet there was something so delightful about it, that it was so different, and that it's almost like we all were able to get out of our day-to-day way of thinking. And
yeah. And the fact that it's magic, magic is
yeah,
doesn't have to be like earthly trickery. It could be, really indicating magic to me, which might be,
yeah.
spiritual magic.
And the magician was coming into the audience, so like if I look at like myself as part of the audience too, even though I wasn't there, um it's almost like let me interact, let me give you
Yeah,
some magic, let me actually like personally interact with your energy to give you some magic
it's
or
direct
show you
contact.
another way. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, something like that.
Oh, I
It's
like
pretty
that.
cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So, would you mind sharing your dream you had 5 days after your birthday? We'll look at
Yeah,
them
yeah,
together.
yeah. Again, I'm going to need to read it. So I'm in a large, noisy gym type space with high up windows. It felt very dark and dingy. There's a young, strong Black woman teaching a yoga class, which I was taking, which I am taking. I'll try to say it in the present.
Yeah, thank you.
She's talking emotionally, but very quiet, steering us in a strong. Sorry, let me go back to that. So she's teaching a yoga class that I'm taking. She's talking in a very emotional but quiet voice, teaching us a strong message through her vulnerability. At one point, I'm uh, at one point she says in a gruff whisper, "That's why I teach you guys. That's why I teach you guys." The class is halfway done and I leave to go pee. And then I was fussing around with large sculptures and art pieces I had in my private locker. I'm trying to clean it out and arrange them differently to have more space and to be more cohesive, as if this is like an art sculpture or something, like in my locker. um I keep thinking I should get back to class. Like, what am I doing here? Why am I, how did I get distracted here? I should get back in. And then I see the teacher working at a concession stand. Like, she had finished the class and she's now working at this concession stand. Um, mm, and this is why I allowed myself to hang with my stuff in the locker. I was curious about, there's a question mark. Seeing that she had left the class to go teach this, to go work her other job,
Mhm.
was that why I allowed myself to go, and fuss around? But it doesn't seem that that was the timeline. So that was just a question.
Are you saying futz around or futz?
Fuss, fuss, Fuss,
Oh, so, okay. I was
or
thinking
fuss.
the
It's the same thing.
Yiddish futz, which is similar.
It means the same thing,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
exactly. So, okay, so um, clarifying question.
Mhm.
So she is saying, I'm here to teach you, I'm paraphrasing, vulnerability. Is that what the message
She
is?
doesn't really say specifically. It's like she's teaching us through her example. She's modeling
Yes,
vulnerability. She's her voice is very
yeah.
strong, but very gentle, very soft at the same time, but very, like, particular. Like, and so she does, I don't remember what it is that she's saying or teaching us, but she says, I'm teaching you this, I'm like, but her whisper was, it was like a whisper, but it was gruff. It was like a gruff around. I don't even know how to
Yeah.
describe that any other way. And then she just says in that gruff whisper, that's why I teach you guys. That's why I teach you, not this is what I am teaching you. So I don't know.
This is very powerful for me. I've been watching movies, and some movies I really like, but the feminine protagonist is like very quiet. And it's like, well, I guess it's just what the men want. That the women are like almost not
Demure.
much. What's that?
Demure.
Demure, absolutely, and quiet. And I've seen that in a number of places. And at first I was like, wow, this women. And then I was like, yeah, but the messages like speak quietly. And so I'm feeling like this means the world to me because I've been grappling with that. And then she's saying she's teaching with this quiet sternness, would you say? Like growly, it's powerful.
Strong. I wouldn't say stern, because it
Okay.
wasn't like stern. Like,
Yeah,
it was just strong,
strong.
like
So
strong,
I love that.
confident. I would say confident.
That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what are your feelings about this dream?
Um, I don't know. There's so many sort of questions. Like, the space is an unusual one for my dreams. The large,
A
noisy,
warehouse. Did you say
large, noisy gym,
a
like
gym?
a
An
gym,
audit
like a gym.
auditorium.
So there's all this noise, machines clanking in the background and other
Yeah,
noises and things. And the windows are very high up, so it has this dark, kind of
dingy.
vibe. I don't know. Didn't feel like a place, like that I would love to be in. So I don't know what that's
Yeah.
about. And why, my question is, why is this woman specifically black in the,
Mhm.
um, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that, really.
So is this gym like connected with a school? Is
Mhm.
that like it's like a yoga class in a gym attached to a school?
It could have been, a
Okay.
school.
That's in my version of this dream, in my imagination. I feel like it is. And that's just one more indication that it's teaching and I'm learning. school just for me symbolizes teaching and learning.
Okay. Yeah. 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 That makes sense.
Um, and that it's dingy, it's a little dark. So maybe there's something hard in this learning for me. Like maybe I don't want to be vulnerable. It's so hard to be vulnerable.
mm, yeah.
Maybe I don't have the full bright light on what this is teaching me.
Maybe yeah, not necessarily resonating.
Okay.
Um,
Did you say dusty also?
dingy.
Dingy. Okay.
Um,
Does it remind you of any place?
not really.
Mhm.
A school gym kind of
Yeah.
works. Yeah, kind of works.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm kind of yeah, yes. It's almost I'm actually sort of more interested in the part where I'm taking these different pieces of art and sculptures that
Yes.
supposedly I think
Yes.
mine. Um,
Arranging a locker
and
to
it was
be.
like yeah, it's like one of the regular metal school lockers.
Yeah.
Was on my way to the bathroom or on my way back to the class from the bathroom, and then I decided to just go into my locker.
Yeah.
Like there was a big thing, I don't even know what it was, like an animal sculpture or something. It was just like too big, and I was trying to like fit it, and just trying to fit all these little different sculptures and paintings and things in a way that made it look like a cohesive thing. And I guess that, if I'm looking at that in terms of my waking life,
Mhm.
um, I would say it makes sense in terms of what that I'm trying to put together something with all the different pieces of myself
Yeah. Yo,
in
I like that.
terms of
Very
a new
good.
body of not body of work in terms of artwork, but a new body of work in terms of business work,
Yes.
trying to put different things together, my creative skills and my therapeutic skills and coaching and body work, and I'm trying to fit it all in. And maybe the message is it doesn't really fit. It doesn't exactly all fit.
Hmm.
Maybe all the pieces aren't going to fit.
Interestingly, I'm thinking of this dream in response to the previous dream, and I'm thinking I kind of regret not being there. But when I, try to make it all fit in my life, it's just a lot of art and creativity. And, we can't be more than one place at once. And we can't be hard on ourselves. We have to be forgiving of ourselves.
Mhm.
And in my opinion, and it makes me feel like, well, I'm not there. I didn't see this, magic show. I'm not with loved ones, but this is all what I have in my locker. This is what
Mm,
I have inside of me. I
mhm.
have all of this creativity and fits together, doesn't fit together, but it still makes up a very important aspect of myself.
And even the yoga, like I used to do a lot of yoga. I mean, I was
Yes.
really, pretty pretty full on yoga person for a
Yes.
long time. Uh,
Hmm.
and maybe that's just yeah something old in my past, and that's why it's in that, but maybe there's something I need to learn about, like go back into the past a little bit, like what did I learn from that? What was
Yes.
and I sort of remember in the Jungian way of looking at dreams, it mattered whether somebody was male or female, whether they were blonde or dark haired, whether they were black or, whatever color their skin was, like in terms of like your own psyche.
Sure.
The fact that she was black, I don't know exactly what that means to me, I guess. Yeah, really don't actually. I
Yeah,
really,
I don't, it doesn't, I see what you mean. And all these factors are important to look at,
yeah.
but it doesn't really mean anything to me. I
Yeah.
don't feel like
Yeah.
that's,
I
you
mean,
know,
it was just very specific,
yeah,
you
very
know,
specific.
but I
So
don't
I would look
know.
out, like maybe I'll meet a woman who looks similarly and we'll do something together.
Yeah.
Or I would just keep my antenna up.
I think she sort of reminded me of a person that I know from my Five Rhythms group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she had the same kind of stocky build, and like she's
Yeah.
reminded me of her, which is a practice I do now that's very meaningful to me. Um, so it almost feels a little bit like I'm blending the past into the present a little bit in the stream.
Yes.
Hmm.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I just want to like look at this one little piece here again.
You read it out loud, please.
I've gotten it interrupted. Oh, I'm having a hard time reading my own handwriting. So I kept thinking I should get back to class. This is I'm fussing around in the
Yeah.
lounge. I should get back to class. Then I see the teacher working at a concession stand. So the
Yeah.
class has gotten interrupted um, because she had to go to her other job. Okay, that's actually interesting.
Very interesting.
Class had gotten interrupted because she had to go to her other job. That feels very connected to my life.
It
My
sounds like your life. That's
like
very,
I'm trying to create something new, but I'm
yeah,
having to do a lot of, my what, the work that I've been doing, which is
yeah,
body work, which I've
yeah,
loved for many years, but I'm ready to kind of move forward and do, expand. But I'm having to do more of that actually because I need to make an income until the
sure. Yeah, so that sounds very familiar.
yeah. Yeah. So if that's how I'm looking at it, then I would say that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then something about what does concessions mean? A concessions
Yeah, like
stand.
uh
Because I feel like the meaning of concession is you have to give a little in a negotiation. You concede, or like you concede the presidency or something. So there's a way that concession does mean making
hmm,
a concession for us to work this out peacefully, but it also is a concession stand, which is beverage and snack. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like snacks. It felt like, it reminded me of like, like a skating rink or a,
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
like just hot dogs. I don't know what it
Yeah,
was. It was like a
yes,
little bit like, yeah, snacks. And it wasn't, and it's kind of interesting if I were to look at the word concession, it's almost like, instead of like a full restaurant, it's like a snack bar,
yeah.
conceding to the lower uh, expression of like
My
something.
lower, my lower expression of God. So
Yeah.
no, I'm yeah, okay. So that's a really interesting thing to
Yeah.
explore.
Yeah.
And awesome. So thank you for sharing these.
Yeah.
I,
Thank
I just
you.
have a fragment, but I would rather tell you this very exciting dog situation I find myself in. So, as our listeners know, I've had multiple sclerosis since 1996. So 27 years now. And I am wanting a service dog. And I've been wanting a service dog. And I mean, my dogs have been so intuitive into what my needs are. I once my legs gave out and I'd fallen onto the floor. And my sometimes my fingers don't extend like this. Sometimes it's like a paw. So I was pulling myself up and I was put my hand on the bed and it kept slipping off. And my foster dog, Sammy, came and stood all his weight on my hand so that I could get up. And I have a cat like that too. My animals are just so intuitive. So I want someone to actually train a dog, a service dog. And so I had been in touch with a woman in Putnam County. So I'm in Ulster. And then a man she works with called me back, and I feel like it's the beginnings of which is happening.
Ah,
So I'm so excited to have a canine in my life again. And
so
again,
wonderful.
regular listeners will know that Ellen and I feel very strongly towards dogs
Yeah.
in a positive way.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I just wanted to share that with you, but we have to keep it on the DL for now.
Yes. Yes. Keep it close in until something more happens. Yeah.
And yeah.
I'll send a prayer for that because that sounds amazing and wonderful and very useful for you. Very helpful.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I just would feel so good with a dog. Watch a lot of movies and stuff on YouTube. I was watching these cattle farmers, and they show like how freaked out the cattle get, like if they're driving, or like sometimes they use helicopters to herd them. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
called herding when it comes to
Mhm.
cattle, but when they use dogs, the cattle are calm. They don't freak out because of motors. The dogs just help them to stay calm. And I am looking for the same.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah. Yeah. Animals like dogs definitely have good good intuition. Yeah.
But I have to say, if I may, I have my black cat Puma, who you know, Ellen, and there was once that I couldn't get up, and oh, I was in the shower. Now I remember I was in the shower, and I couldn't get up because it was a tub shower, and I've had a lot of issues here and there along the years. Thank God, I think I'm doing pretty good right now. But but and I knew that I had to like wait down. I had like a handicap toilet seat, and I had to weight it down so that I could use it to hold on to when I was stepping out of the shower. And I didn't do that before my shower. I didn't remember. But my big black cat, big chunky boy, jumped from like the wicker bench onto the toilet to weight it down. Then
Oh,
so then I was able. So I just am putting a plug in there that cats are awesome too.
definitely.
Definitely.
100%. I love cats. Yeah. I would have cats and dogs if I were able.
Cats and dogs.
Yeah.
You,
Mhm.
you might want to befriend your neighborhood birds. Seriously.
Why birds?
Because you can't have a pet, but the
Oh,
birds live there. And
well, I do. We have so many ravens around here,
I love
um,
it.
everywhere. Yeah, so I always talk to them like, "What's up? What are you doing? What's up with you guys? Why are you making so much noise?"
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so good to talk with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for exploring those dreams with me. And I feel like the second one needs a little more. I'd like to kind of sink into that one. It feels like it has
Yeah.
more layers.
Yeah. I'll be happy to talk with you about it more
Yeah.
off the podcast if you like.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah. All right. Well,
So
I hope you all got something out of that, and just as a way to, explore the dreams and questions to ask one another to help dig into your dream world a little bit and see how it can actually help you in your waking world, your waking life.
absolutely, that right here is the perfect example that these dreams, I think, are saying so much about the
Yeah.
dreamer's waking life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope all are well, and I wish you full mode Metuki.
Sweet dreams.